Okay, hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm going to do a quick review of some of the double shield meta that's currently meta in Overwatch as of like November 14th, 2020. So there's going to be a quick review on this before I have to go coach Bedlam, which is OU versus OSU, Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State University. It's going to be played at 7 o'clock tonight. It's for charity. So this is scrim rules, so the match starts immediately. So let me look at a few things. Okay, so decent starting positioning, not a bad starting positioning at all. So I do want to bring up a few things. In that the tracer up here is not bad. Tracer starting that far back like that. Sorry, EpiPin got in the way. Tracer starting that far back like that is totally fine. She just needs to be very... blue's not really my style today. I'm not feeling it. Let's do green. Over here. So you can see that. Alright, so you have... let me go ahead and hide chat too, because people seem to be actually typing in that today. So as you can see, Tracer hiding up here is fine. So this team's going to come in here in some direction, right? Hanamura is one of, if not the hardest choke in the game. So it's very easy. Like Paris first is like the only choke that's nearly as difficult. So this is okay because she can kind of shoot down from here and then chase around. And really, there's nothing on their team. Like, what is the Reaper? What's going to happen? This guy's going to moon jump, or this guy's going to teleport up to him. Like, there's nothing that can really one shot or kill him, unless the Mei hits like a crazy headshot or something. So because that's not the case. Tracer positioning here is totally fine. Even if they had a McCree, honestly, this would be okay. It's good scouting. But that's actually the thing I was going to mention about this, is you should be scouting here. So you should be, like, over here looking down this way, or you should be in some kind of position. A cheeky one would be able to sit back on this corner here and actually do the sit emote for Tracer, so you can see around the corner in third person. Stuff like that would be, like, really, really good for this position you're in. The Sig and the Brig up here on this right side. So this is where this is interesting, because in this current meta, you're doing the right thing. You want to split into two groups. You want to split into your Sig group and your Orisa group and kind of take angles and take shots, right? And your Sig, your Orisa's with your Sig, so that if they push your Sig, no one dies, right? That's really why they're there. Same reason these two are really with your Orisa. I think you're playing too passive here, though. So this group here is probably too passive. At the most passive, I would put you guys here, so that you could rotate this way, or this way, or this way, okay? At the most passive, I would push you here. And the reason this is too passive is this is getting into the fall-off range of these two characters. Like, it's getting into that range, so it's really problematic. The other reason I would put you here is because if these guys go here, you're going to have to rotate this way anyway, so put yourselves in a better position where if they walk straight forward, you have a good pinch. If they walk this way, you still have a better angle this way, and then you can rotate this way and still get a good shot up here, right? You have, like, all of that opportunity. Plus, if you get a pick, you have more of an opportunity to press W. If someone gets, like, a Tracer gets a pick and they're already past the choke, you can't really go get a kill after that, right? Like, I understand you're poking, but you can't really go get a kill because the distance is just too far. The other thing, and actually the main problem, all of those are kind of minor problems, the main problem is you don't know what they have. What if they have a Lucio rush down and they just go like this up to the Sig Brig? Now, Brig's with the Sig, like I said, so that he doesn't die from a rush down. That being said, though, that's under the assumption that the rest of your team can go help them within 2-3 seconds. You can't go help them within 2-3 seconds. You're too far. You're much too far. So at most I would push you here. I'd actually think about putting you here. Because, like, if they're gonna rush down, the Sigma still goes this way, the Tracer still comes this way, and you still have all of this natural cover, a Baptiste with Emor, a stun, a pull, a gold as well, and these guys can drop down and pinch from this angle. Like, you have a bunch of sustain here. This is much too passive. And I know where you got this idea from, don't get me wrong. You got this from the Zen positioning that I taught you guys, previously from a completely different comp is where you got this position from. But Zen is a projectile, he has no drop-off range. And he can't survive a dive at all. This group can survive a dive or a rush. You can position here. This is much too passive. And because it's much too passive, this is very vulnerable back here. So it's not bad positioning. I just think it's giving too much respect to the enemy team. Okay, so good pick. I will say, Central on your Tracer, you just need to stay up here and go down. That you're lucky you got out of the way of this Brig stun, or that's May actually, Brig stun. You got out of the way of that Brig stun when you did back here. Like you need to stay up here, stay safe. Like the worst thing you can do as the quote unquote third angler DPS in this composition is get picked. That's the worst thing you can do, because do we really need you to get kills? I mean, maybe, but more so than anything else, we need you to be a threat. And if you're dead, you're not a threat, right? Even an Invis Sombra is more of a threat than dead right now, right? So more so than anything, we need you alive. I like this positioning from Ice over here. I think this is very, very brilliant. So this is one of the better plays I think I've seen a DPS on this team make. Y'all go this way, right? They go this way. McCree realizes the rotation and realizes he can actually open up a complete semicircle of an angle and fire this way, and he can help both sides at the same time here. This is, I mean, that's A++ positioning, really. Like, honestly, that is so good from him. This is going to be a shield war between the Orissas, and what I mean by that is the first Orissa to place their shield incorrectly is going to be the team that loses. Because if this team, for example, if this team gets a pick, but the Orissa just placed their shield, it's actually going to be even. If our team places a shield, but we end up having to back up, it's going to be their favor. So we're going to have to be aware of those kinds of things consistently. Doing a really good job here, though. Really patient play. That's a good thing, by the way. We do want patient play. We want something going on constantly where we're able to threaten things, but it's not, you know, it's not ridiculous. We're doing things done. Just as I say that, we do actually get walled off here. They are split 3-3 though, so interesting situation here. They're split 3-3. I'm going to assume you're going to pull these guys off. I actually would prefer if you didn't do that. So they have their teams way separated here, and like I said, when you were over here and the SIG team was over here, these two teams can't help each other at all, and they're kind of they're not great as far as like who the split is. This is both tanks and a brig. This is not good. Like, this is not a good split over here. So I almost would rather you just leave them. I actually not leave them. I'd rather you pick a side, essentially. I would rather you fight a 6v3 since they're giving it to them, instead of being gentlemen and respecting them so much that you're giving them 2 3v3s, which is exactly what you're doing, right? You're giving them 2 3v3s on either side of the map right now. Don't do that. Don't respect them that much. If they're going to wall this up, especially if they're going to wall this up, but if they're going to wall this off, or if they're going to get you everything, fine. Pull them down. These guys turn the corner, wreck all 3, and then these guys are like, oh, whoops, okay, and it's a reset. Now they're under, you know, they're under 2.5 minutes. Ooh, little IF happy there. Instead, they regroup off the pull-off, so bad communication there. So they get pulled off, and they regroup out of the pull-off. Central has been playing on the edge of his life the entire round, which that needs to change. You're getting good damage. You even use a pulse bomb, but you're getting good damage. But it's so dangerous that like it's not what we need you to do. Like, we need you to basically be a threat and then go in when the team fight starts or when you know you have a kill. So it's very difficult. Good kill again. The rotation's slow, though. Yeah, the rotation is slow, though. So they group up here, and half our team tries to go this way. This is how our Tracer gets picked. Half the team goes this way, and the other team kind of is just sitting where it is sitting. And we're trying to pinch from this direction, which is actually probably the right call, but it's way slow in rotation. We try a bunch of stuff to keep people alive, to get a kill, to do this, do that. Like, we try a bunch of stuff, and none of it's pertinent. We need to get to point. So this is what I said this the other night. Is we need to work on kiting stuff, because like we have to know that this is coming, that this push is coming. We have to know this. Like, we have to. So you have to know, like, okay, he has ult. You know, like, the next closest is probably the other support, and you know, this is like, you have a really good ult tracker on your team. Like, this is really important to know. So we need to be aware of that. Good solo pick on the back end over there. Okay, so this is still very sloppy, but it's getting a little bit better. I'm gonna go darker green because it's really bright. So it's getting better, but so like we're getting solo picks over here, but this team is so discombobulated because of the late rotation here and our Tracer dying that they're not getting a lot of picks, and our Orisa made the very, very costly mistake of going this way. We don't need you to go this way. Now, are you correct in thinking that you shouldn't stay here? Maybe. Not really. I think you could definitely stay here and get the same pinch down. But if you're going to change, like I would say this position's like a B+. I think like this is a decent position over here. This is like a D-. Like it's almost failing. This is just not a good idea. You have Orisa pulls, you have boop offs, you have well, hold on over here. You have boop offs, you have Orisa pulls, you have rocks that knock you back a little bit, you have a Reaper that can push you and you have nowhere to turn to. Like, it's just not a good idea. Now, pushing this way though, that's a decent idea because you're pushing the BAP up into his team where a Sig is pinching down on it. Not a bad idea. Now, you guys are going to lose this fight, but it's not a terrible idea. You're not going to lose this fight. I'm sorry. You have the square and the McCree up. Yeah, you're doing an amazing job with that McCree as well. Yeah, so you got the individual picks to kind of get done, but it's really sloppy. Our rotations are slow, and then sometimes we're picking the complete wrong rotations. We just need to go the other way. It's just not quite what we need at all. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward just a bit. Okay, so they go up there. We use High Noon and Bongo. Okay, that's kind of important. Hold on. We use High Noon and Bongo. When did we use that? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why? There's no reason for that. They have not engaged. Bongo and High Noon are two you use when the other team can't kite you. You use them when they're like, oh crap, we literally can't get away. You're almost forcing them to push into you with killing ultimates, right? That's when you use those. That was way early, like a good 10 seconds early. Like, you use it here. Like, right here is when you use it. You go, oh, okay. Who's over here? Oh, yeah, no, this is not a good position. So you need to be out here with the Sigma pushing in this way so that you can kind of control this entire thing as Orisa controls this entire thing. And that's your crossfire. You don't need to be in here. These guys have the touch. Like, you should not be touching. But anyway, and then the IF has to come out because of it, and then it's really problematic. But see how they used both of their support alts on engage? Like, okay, we're touching point. They have to touch point. This is a full engage. They really can't kite this. That's good. But if when they did this, if you were like, oh, okay, put a Bongo around this corner, High Noon, they all have to put behind this bell, you pull them out, and you have the Sigma shooting behind the belt. Like, imagine that. Like, that's the plan. Like, we did it way, way early. Like, way, way early. Ooh, and a stun on the Sigma ult, too. That's not good. Got a pulse bomb on the back. We're gonna get more solo kills. Does not look like it. Really good heals to keep that Orisa alive as long as you did. Yeah, late rotations and battle usages. That's why you lost. So like, your rotations are slow and they're not always in the right spot. You don't quite kite enough, and then you're just way early and way bad on your ult usage. You wasted. I just hope you understand. Just to drive the point home, you wasted 3 ultimates that fight. And you got zero value out of all 3 ultimates. That's why you lost. You used 3 ults and got no value. They used 2 and got 3 kills out of it. That's why you lost. So what we need to do is we need to realize when we can use the ultimates and when we can't use the ultimates. I think it was a good plan what you had. You know, put the Bongo down, pull together, High Noon. That's a good plan. I don't have any problem with that. And the follow-up with the Sig ult, if that doesn't work, is also a good plan. But you didn't quite get that down. Again, bad ult usage. Really bad ult usage. They can just kite this immediately, this way or this way. This is a really tight choke that you have no control on either side of. So they can go either direction. This is a really bad ult usage up here. Once again, if you would put it here at like an angle, or it doesn't actually have to be at that bad of an angle, but if you would just put it here where your team can shoot up or to the side, I mean, that's a little bit better because then you're forcing them away from the point, or you're forcing them into a very small area that can be, you know, stunned down. But this is again, it's a very, very bad ultimate once again. That's not the way you use ultimates. It's too easy to kite. We use another High Noon when they're kiting. So I think that's 5 bad ultimates in a row we've used now. So we used another High Noon. They're coming down the staircase. Like, they've already shown that they're going down the staircase, and use High Noon over here. That's a kite. The only thing you successfully did here was split off the BAP, which hopefully your Tracer can pick up. But that's 5 bad ults in a row. Yeah, and it doesn't even get him because he has IF still available. You're going to have to use your rally now. Okay, use pulse. You finally got value out of the pulse. Okay, I'm not sure why we're holding rally so badly. So they use square, and they use gravitic, and they use this, and we've gotten no value out of any ultimates except for the pulse bomb we just got value out of. And Ice picking up this, but this is by no means a one fight. Like, this could turn very quickly in their favor. I think as soon as that gravitic actually caught your Sigma, you can do this because your BAP can throw an E more to keep you alive long enough where your rally keeps that Sigma not only healthy but a pretty big threat too. So I think you have to use rally here, and it does completely defeat your resources, but you'll be most of the way to a pulse bomb, and you'll have bongo again. So you can bongo and engage, and then still try to get a pulse bomb kill. And they've also used quite a few ultimates here, so it's not like you're not trading ultimates, but we're just holding a really long time. Ooh, and the Tracer yeah, that's what's gonna turn it. Fortunately, they are going after the Orisa instead of going after the BAP, which the BAP cleans up too. That's a bad target focus by them. Really bad target focus by them. And then we end up using Rally anyway. We have to realize that faster. So we finally get 2 good ults down. So the enemy gets 3 or 4, was it 4? Yeah, they get 4 good ults down. We get 2 and we win. Like, you're better than this team. Like, if you use your ults appropriately, this team is nothing. It's the problem is that if they get like just to show you, these are alt usages on the side here. So they have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ults so far, and we've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ults so far. So we're up 3 ults as far as how many ults are used between the two teams, but we've actually gotten value out of like 5 ults, right? And they've gotten value out of 5 ults. So this is actually quite equal on both sides right now as far as like alt usage, and that does reflect in the score, right? Like they got first point. They have a decent time bank, but it's no like 4.5 minute time bank. So that's reflected. So you guys are better. You're getting your ults faster. You're using them more. You're doing everything you probably should with your ult economy, but you're just not getting value out of the ults. So we need to get more value.
Cease your resistance.
Again, a bongo in the same spot where that square was. Now, a bongo is a little bit better because it reaches to the people up here that can kind of burst them down this way. But again, really tight corridor that you have no control of. They're just standing there. They can kite immediately, or they just put up a May wall. Like that's another bad alt usage. Like, what value are you hoping to get out of this? You're hoping to get like 10 seconds worth of stall? Is that really what you want out of a bongo? No. Right? You like that bongo should have given you the pulse bomb, the high noon, and put you 40% on this, and probably won you the team fight, or forced out their rally. Is what it really should have done. But it didn't do any of that. It didn't give you any more ults. It barely gave you any percentage, and they still have you weren't even forcing them to trade ultimates. Okay, that's really bad positioning there. Okay. And this is exactly how you do not play double shield. Group up, move together through a spot that the Sigma has a flank on and everyone else has super flanks on. So this is well played by you guys as far as positioning and everything is going to be concerned. Yeah, this is just well positioned, and this is where the advantages and disadvantages of playing double shield, the macro properly, is seen the most, right? Like I think they got 2 picks in that. Yeah, they got 2 picks in that, and you won the team fight with like no ultimate. You won the team fight with a pulse bomb, right? And they used rally and pulse bomb to rally trade. I would take that every day of the week, honestly. Like, that's so easy. Oh my god, that square again! Stop using that. Oh, why? We're not in control of in there. Like, so that's 2 bad ults used. We picked up the Orisa. That shouldn't have been a pickup. Okay, that was a bad ult usage, but it shouldn't have been a pickup because the IF should have come out or an out heal should have come out, and it just didn't. That was bad. That was bad by them, not really good by you guys, if I'm being honest. Yeah, pick up that kill. That's a bad stagger too. Like, they're not playing well. Like, the team you're playing against is not playing well yet. They took first point from you. Like, they really shouldn't have. Late rotation and bad ult usages. Okay, this is gonna be a wipe here. Are we gonna use an ult or high noon today? Yeah, it's late. Oh, why did we drop? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay. We had this in the bag. What happened? They're being forced on a point. Their Orisa got pulled off, was forced into gold. Okay, we're giving them ticks? Okay, okay, okay. We're giving them ticks. That's what's happening. Okay, so we're giving them ticks. Orisa drops here. These two need to drop here, not Orisa. Also, Tracer needs to not mess with this Orisa up here and get up to point. Like, that needs to be a thing immediately. And then as soon as we're going to pick people up like this, it's last fight. Like, use your high noon. Like, people are being picked up. Like, use your high noon while he's in the gravitic so he can't throw a shield at you. Like, we need to realize this much faster. A good one clip, but yeah, it's too. They just comboed what, 3 ults? 4. They comboed 4 ults, so they just stored ult economy and threw it at you, essentially. But we need to be more aware of this, a lot more aware of this, because the ults are just not there. Okay, let's go over your attack. Quickly. I'm not gonna make this too much longer because I don't want to make this a super long video. Oops, sorry.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Okay, so they're using the same May Reaper, which means you have a distance advantage because you're playing Echo. Stop playing Echo, but you're playing Echo and McCree. Oh, you've also changed. Your Echo's a different DPS, so you've also changed DPS mid-map, which is strange. Okay, so I don't mind this. So you're doing a better job of this, actually. So I don't mind this entry here, where you've basically entried as a group of 6, and then you're going to split off in angles, I assume. That's actually the right thing to do when you have hard chokes like this. That's much, much better. Oh, way early all usage. There's no reason for that. Nothing's challenging you. I mean, not all usage, IF usage, excuse me. And eat. Like, yeah, stop using cooldowns when there's nothing challenging you. Like, nothing's going to kill you there. Just let your BAP get his ult fast, which he's going to. Okay, good split off. Good split off. Oh, I'm not in love with that. Good pick off of the back. Good job. Yeah, that's going to be a fast wipe. A very, very, very fast wipe. So again, you're playing the macro really well. Like, angle from here, angle from here, angle from here. Use cooldowns. Use whatever you need to. Use the window from here. You're good to go. Like, you're playing the macro extremely well. But when you go into, like, the micro, when you go into... Well, actually, ultimates are macro, but... When you go into the alt usage, you need some work, right? But when you go into the micro, it's like we used IF early. You know, like there's mistakes in this like you capped with a minute. Basically, you've capped with a minute, right? First push, you capped. So like, but you used the eat wrong. You used the IF wrong. You know, the Echo was vulnerable throughout some of this, although there's no hit scan, so that's a good pick for right now. You know, and the shield usage was stacked from time to time. Oh, you have a different Orisa too. Interesting. So like you know, a lot more. There are more things to work on. Even though you did just roll that first point, there were still a lot of misplays within that. Okay, see, that's a decent window because there's not a lot of room for you to back up and kite that window. Because even if you go this way, they can push on it, right? And then now you're cut off from everything. But and it's too far to go this way. So that's a better window than what we were doing over here. If I'm being honest, it's still not a great window. I still don't love it, but it's better. It is better. It is an early pick. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting fight, actually. Oh, wow, we're forcing out ults on the early, and we got 83%. Oh, that's very bad by them. So you can see how they played the macro wrong, right? Like they used the window here, and the entire group of 6 looked this way, and they completely missed a lane. Like they weren't controlling the lane, so you got 84%. That's just a macro misplay. Like we had the high ground. You're supposed to control as many lanes as possible with this comp. They controlled one lane, and it wasn't even like, it wasn't mechanical, it wasn't positional, it wasn't anything. They literally just didn't scout, and they lost 84% because they didn't scout. Right? They would have lost the map right there. Like, that would have been map right there if they had, simply because they didn't scout. And that's one of the reasons it's so important to split with this comp. It's one of the reasons it's so important to make sure that you have scouting. It's one of the reasons it's so important to actually, like, look around and not just group up and try to go brain dead and stack as many cooldowns as possible. That's not how you play. Even in Ghosts, it's not how you played. Like, there was an order to the stacking of your cooldowns and everything. I don't like that ult. I don't like Orisa standing in the ult either. So I don't like that ult. So he ulted, and then Orisa just stood there. Like, if he ults and then Orisa backs up, then our BAP is able to back up as well. The Mei gets no value whatsoever, and you go into a fight when they've already used a Mei ult and maybe even IF, which is basically his ult, right? And you have a 5 ult advantage. Like, you have 5 ults here. Like, why did we not just kite that? Why did we just stand there and take it? Like, don't stand there and take it. Back up, let them punch themselves out, and then you go back in and punch them really hard, and then they go down, right? Sorry, boxing analogies, but you get the point. Like, you gotta kite that. Okay, we went inside. Oh, we went down and inside. Interesting. We do have 5 ults, so this actually could potentially be very good. Okay, the Reaper upstairs doesn't mean anything, and we do have scouting on it. That, ooh, okay, that was actually a really good square and positional. Like, y'all did everything right except the Echo didn't call out that the Reaper TP'd up here. As soon as that was called, we needed to know that, and McCree needed to not go. Where is he? McCree needed to not go into his ultimate so that when he drops, he can flashbang and fan or just headshot him, whatever. And then you keep going. Make that little micro mistake is going to cost you this push. That's literally it. That's the whole thing. It is, if you don't do that. Ooh, you might get it anyway. Oh, and they used Bongo out of it. Oh, no. This is stallable. Oh, no. Okay, so it's very stallable, which means you have to play back behind these lanterns until the rest of your team, you have, like, reinforcements, but you can still poke it out, and then you have good, like, retreat angles and stuff, but you don't go straight up on a point like that. Okay, so it's lost. So, again, macro plays, like, so for the same reason that D.Va can't go out of throw her bomb if the enemy team has a Reaper ult, McCree can't go into his either. Like, same reason is you have the counter to an ultimate as a cooldown. You can't negate that cooldown by going into your ultimate, especially when theirs kills faster than yours does. See, this is just bad. This is bad. This is just bad. Okay, they're kind of doing it now. This Brig needs to go over here though. I mean, honestly, the Brig can stay up here. The other person can go this way. Okay, we keep making the same mistake because we're running 5 up here and then we're running our Echo behind. Can I just make a quick suggestion? Why are we doing that when we could run the Echo behind, the Sig could poke from up here, and the Brig could poke from up here, and then you could pull things, so you could do this, you could also have the Orisa come from this angle that I already drew, and then have these people poke from behind, so you're pressuring point this way, so they can't go chase your Orisa, and if they do, they're done for, because they have 1 tick, which is how they lost the first 2 ticks, right? So, like, we still need to split appropriately, and make sure we're pressuring kind of everything without kind of giving too much away. But otherwise, we're doing quite well. Okay, let's, like, watch the rest of this. Kind of double speed, good pick. We'll hear that Orisa. Oh, man. Oh, early IF, that's an opportunity. The Sigma. I'm not in love with the Sigma. I'm not in love with the Sigma copy, especially when there's a Reaper available. Again, we just don't keep track of the Reaper. So we just need to keep track of the Reaper, and we have that. Like they're just getting more value out of their ultimates is really what was happening right now. Oh, again the ults are coming out and they're getting more value. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all that was. Is they're getting more value out of their ultimates. They're using them at the appropriate times, not too early, but not so late where they already have picks, where the other team already has picks on them. That's really what the difference is. Okay, so just to recap. We need to use our ult effectively. Not so early that the enemy team just kites it, but not so late that it's like, oh crap, we have to do this perfectly, or there's no chance. And then the other thing is kind of rotate properly and set up things properly. Don't revert into, just because you're pushed it up against, like, it doesn't matter if you have a 7-minute time bank when that second point opens up. It doesn't matter if you have a 30-second time bank. You still need to do it properly. Like, the time bank doesn't matter. All the time bank is dictating is how many chances you get to do it right. Whether you have 1 or 7 minutes, you're still going to try to do it right every single time. It's just, do you have 1 chance or do you have 9 chances, right? That's really the only difference in the time banks. So if that's the only difference, try to do it right every single time so you're constantly up on time bank, right? Y'all had a really good defend on first, and then we just didn't use ultimates appropriately, and we didn't rotate appropriately. And y'all had a really good hold on second that almost got broken multiple times because we used ultimates incorrectly. So just use the ultimates better. And then make sure that we are setting up for a winning fight every single time. Don't just phone it in. Every single fight, come in with the mentality of this is the fight we're winning. This is a fight we're winning again. Like, come in with that mentality every single time and set up like you mean it. Don't set up like, oh, I know they're all up in ult economy, or oh, we'll just win it because we have 5. No, you won't. You have to set up appropriately. Keep your focus during games, okay? All right, I hope this helps. Go OU in about a little over an hour.